Some of the things that people are doing to fix their neuropathy are the reason it isn't improving. And the frustrating part, most of that advice sounds logical. If neuropathy is spreading, it's not just getting worse, something is feeding it. And today we're going to identify 3 more things that might be doing just that. This is part 2 of that conversation. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, make sure you don't miss that. Dr. Smith covered the first 3 major mistakes that can accelerate neuropathy. Things that people are doing that can actually make it worse. And this really builds directly on that foundation. We'll make sure to share a link to that video at the end. In this video, we're going deeper into 3 more behaviors that people actively do that quietly interfere with nerve recovery. None of these are permanent damage, but left unchecked, they shape the trajectory of your nervous system. I'm Dr. Irvin, and we're the Neuropathy Doctors. We work with people all over the world who are trying to reverse numbness, tingling, burning, and balance problems that are in their feet and lower leg. People who refuse to accept the narrative that there's really nothing you can do and you just have to live with it. And if at any point during this video you're thinking, okay, then what should I actually do? That's exactly why we created the 90-day reset method. It's a step-by-step approach we use to help people get the results they have never been able to achieve on their own. It shows you how to reverse the underlying drivers of neuropathy, not just manage symptoms. You can access it using the link in the description. Now let's get into mistake number 4, waiting for it to get bad enough. Neuropathy rarely announces itself loudly. It doesn't interfere with your life overnight. It often starts with something small, a subtle patch of numbness under the ball of the foot, very commonly below the big toe, or a strange tingling at night that disappears by morning. So you brush it off, even though it keeps happening almost every night. It can start with a slight feeling that simply walking just isn't as comfortable as it used to be. But because it's minor, people minimize it. You rub it, you press on it, you may even pound on it with your fist. You Google it, you poke it again just to make sure it's still numb. As if it's gonna say, oh, never mind, I was just kidding. But when it doesn't immediately affect your daily life, people tell themselves it's just not a big deal. And even if they have received diagnosis of neuropathy, they tell themselves it's not really that bad. It's not that serious yet. Translation, I can live with this. Maybe it'll just go away. I don't have to pay somebody money for this. But here's what's happening beneath that small patch of numbness. Nerve fibers are already struggling with signal clarity. When signal clarity drops, the brain doesn't panic, it adapts. It reduces reliance on that area. It shifts pressure distribution. It alters gait patterns subtly. You may start to roll your foot slightly differently without even realizing it. You may shorten your stride slightly. You may rely more heavily on visual input for balance. None of this feels dramatic. But it is neurologic compensation. And compensation, when repeated daily, starts to rewire your brain. By the time numbness expands from a patch in the ball of the foot to the entire ball of the foot, or from the ball of the foot toward the arch, or begins to affect balance noticeably, the nervous system has already been adapting to dysfunction for months, sometimes even years. Waiting for it to get bad enough doesn't freeze neuropathy in place. It allows those compensatory patterns to deepen. Now here's the hopeful part. Neuropathy can be extremely responsive when addressed properly. We've had clients who only noticed symptoms within the last few months, and others who've been putting this off along with their quality of life for more than 20 years. Nerves are dynamic tissue, which is why both of those types of people can still reverse their symptoms and normalize feeling and function. But timing matters, and waiting for it to get bad enough narrows that window. Acting widens it. Mistake number 5, Over-exercising irritated nerves. Exercise can be a powerful tool for nerve recovery, but there's a difference between stimulation and overload. We often see people who are determined to fix this. They increase their walking distance rapidly because they're trying to improve circulation. They push through the tingling. They treat numbness as something to overpower. The logic sounds like this. If I use it more, I'll wake it up. But irritated nerves don't respond well to brute force. If a nerve pathway is inflamed or metabolically stressed, excessive repetitive loading by exercising too much or incorrectly increases stress signaling. That stress doesn't wake it up, it amplifies protective output. Those negative symptoms that are the hallmark of this condition. Neuropathy already reduces proprioceptive feedback, your ability to sense pressure and positioning in the foot. If someone is walking long distances or barefoot on hard surfaces, they're increasing micro instability. That instability forces the nervous system to work harder to maintain balance. Over time, that constant demand can reinforce irritation patterns. Movement is essential, but it has to be strategic. Exercise should create progressive adaptation, not chronic aggravation. It's not about doing more exercise, it's about doing it correctly. And no, this is not an excuse to become one with your couch, binge 8 hours of Netflix, and call it nerve therapy. But it's also not a contest to see how aggressively you can power walk through irritated nerves. Effort without strategy is just stress. So let's go to mistake number 6. Chasing products instead of following a system. This is where the internet becomes very dangerous. Search neuropathy cure and you'll find miracle creams and special socks and exotic supplements and electric insole. The list never ends. Every week there's a new one. And the promise is always the same. This one thing will fix it. They'll even offer a money-back guarantee, which sounds comforting until you realize how many people never see that money again. That's the business model. Some of you probably have a drawer full of half-used bottles right now. But neuropathy is not a product problem. It's a systems problem. If there was a single magic supplement, trust me, we would have framed it in our office and guarded it like a national treasure. But nerves don't respond to single products. They respond to environments. They require stable blood sugar, healthy circulation, intelligent exercise, controlled inflammation, and strong signal integrity. When people bounce from product to product, they feel proactive. But no cream can deliver all that. No sock can deliver all that. No single capsule can deliver all that. That's why treating neuropathy correctly is a coordinated system, not a gadget. Relief is not recovery. And the internet thrives on selling short-term symptom relief. But when someone finally stops chasing products and follows a structured approach, progress becomes predictable. Not overnight, but consistently. And that is very different than temporary wins. If you've watched some of our other videos, then most likely you're serious about changing direction. And we respect that. Neuropathy doesn't reverse by accident. It improves when the right actions replace the wrong ones. If this video clarified something for you, tell us in the comments. What have you been doing that now makes you rethink your approach? Was it waiting? Was it over-exercising? Was it chasing products? Leave a comment and tell us about your experience. We read every one of them and they help shape what we teach next. If you're ready to stop guessing and actually follow a structured, proven approach, the 90-day reset method is available using the link in the description. It walks you through exactly what to do, step by step. And for those of you who are ready for deeper guidance, there's also an opportunity there to apply to work with us directly. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We do not take that lightly. We'll see you in the next video.